one of the things that I recall that the Chinese did was they shut down travel within the country, yet they did not shut down international travel. Which I don't know if they were trying to spread this virus in that way or they were trying to give people an opportunity to get home. It seems very, very suspect to me. Why wouldn't they just quarantine the entire city of Wuhan in an attempt to control the outbreak, as opposed to allow people that are in Wuhan to leave and go throughout the world? It sounds pretty suspect. So we know that in a Vanity Fair article that was included in some notes for this show that came out in October of 2022, it gave a very, very lengthy and well detailed accounting of what took place. So we know that the lab in Wuhan is a BSL level 4, like Mr. Cow had mentioned before. But what apparently wasn't well known, except through the higher ups in the lab, and of course the higher ups in the CCP, is that lab had quite a number of serious containment issues. They were having problems with disinfection. They had chosen to put stainless steel on the walls, and of course stainless steel with some of these disinfectants deteriorates over time, which of course leads to the possibility of escaped organisms. With all these things going on, there was a lot of things that took place at the lab. The lab completely shut down their database so that nobody could get in and see the sequencing that had taken place. So nobody had access to what they had done. That's when the questions for me start to wonder: was this accidental or was it intentional? I would hope that it was accidental, but we also know through Miles that the CCP has had a 1-3-5-7-9 plan in order to take over the world. So that's where I start wondering whether this was real or not. Because I guess we could go over it just briefly. The one is to develop a bioweapon, which COVID-19 certainly could be considered a bioweapon.
Absolutely.
Particularly when you take into account the addition of the so-called cure. We won't get into that right now. But the other things that kind of took place at the lab was we know that there was funding from the NIH here in America to the lab at Wuhan. We've even seen where there's a possibility they were double billed for that funding. So maybe we paid twice even. There's a lot of things that took place. I believe it was in September. We know that there was a relationship between Fauci and Wang Yang. And then the three things that took place at the lab was, number one, the database was removed. Number two, the PLA took over the lab. And number three, they reworked the ventilation system. So if all of those things took place, could that lab have actually been turned into a bioweapon itself that released the pathogen?